Today, December the 1st, marks the World's AIDS International Day. The FCE appoints a new representative in New York aimed at consolidating American and Algerian business ties. Climate Change Conference COP21 witnesses heated debates in its second day. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this news bulletin brought to you live from the News Studios. I'm Oussama Senouci. Parliament members have voted in favour of the Finance Law 2016, where they preserved 16 amendments out of 60 proposed amendments, and out of 4 articles that stirred controversy within opposition members, and Article 71 that was ratified by the Council in a modified version in a proposal by the Finance and Budget Committee in a time where opposition members called for its abolition. After appointing accredited officers abroad to widen the FCE's activities and promoting the Algerian market internationally this time, the FCE lands in New York, USA, where a representative was appointed with an aim of consolidating the Algerian and American business ties, which have witnessed a tremendous hike over the past few years, making the USA one of the crucial economic partners.
After Dubai, Madrid, Paris and London, the FC Forum landed this time in New York, where a representative was appointed with an aim of widening its activities abroad, as well as promoting the promising Algerian market globally.
Le Forum des chefs d'entreprise souhaite non seulement consolider
the FCE not only wants to consolidate its partnership with the United States of America, but also ensuring an efficient presence in the United States through appointing a representative as a way to cooperate with companies willing to invest in Algeria. Appointing an international bureau in the United States of America will undoubtedly and tremendously help boost and strengthen the Algerian-American business ties, which have witnessed a sharp increase in the past few years.
Very, very happy to have been appointed. This is something that I always wanted, I always worked for, especially in the banking industry, where I financed Algeria for the longest time, for more than 25, 30 years. And my goal in life is to promote the U.S.-Algeria business relations, and the FCE being the main engine behind the growth of U.S.-Algeria relations.
Aiming to hike the commercial exchanges will certainly not be an easy task, as various challenges lay ahead. Therefore, a roadmap must be drawn in order to overcome these hurdles and move forward with our economy.
In the same context and as part of doing business in Algeria, the Minister of Industry and Mines, Abdeslam Bouchouarb, held a press conference in Detroit, Michigan, to highlight various outstanding points related to future investment opportunities between Algeria and the United States. Let's have a listen.
Essayer de trouver les voies qui nous permettent de concrétiser des projets de partenariat qui sont aujourd'hui indispensables entre nos deux pays.
And today we want to make the membership and the mergers with some companies to become a reality, which is possible in the United States.
Ma collègue qui m'a précédé a parlé de l'ambitieux programme quinquennal que connaît mon pays, 2014-2019, qui représente à peu près 260 milliards de dollars d'investissement.
My colleague who spoke earlier regarding the program that represents approximately $260 billion.
Aujourd'hui, l'opportunité nous est donnée pour essayer de permettre et de faire un pont entre les entreprises américaines et ce marché et ce ambitieux programme qui est lancé en Algérie.
Today, the opportunity is coming to us to take advantage of that opportunity that I mentioned earlier.
Nous avons des histoires réussies Il y a quelques semaines, nous avons reçu le CEO de Anadarko, où on a fêté les 2 milliards de barils produits ensemble.
We have some successful stories. We met with the chairman of Anadarko, with whom we shared several $million in business.
Nous avons des projets avec Variant. Nous avons un projet avec ACO où on fabrique des tracteurs et ACO a décidé de faire de la plateforme algérienne, la plateforme africaine.
We have projects with ARCO. ARCO is developing the platform that they use in the United States to have the same platform in Algeria.
Nous allons nous inscrire et là, c'est là les opportunités qui s'offrent à nous dans un grand projet de production d'énergie renouvelable.
Those are opportunities that are given to us, especially an opportunity for renewable energy.
À l'horizon 2030, nous devons produire 22 000 mégawatts pour couvrir 27% de notre consommation électrique.
In 2020, 2030, we must produce 30,000 megawatts. 22,000 megawatts.
Beaucoup d'opportunités s'offrent à nous et je saisis cette occasion pour m'appesantir et m'appuyer sur une filière qui me tient à cœur. C'est la filière de l'automobile. L'Algérie est un gros marché d'automobile. Nous avons décidé de lancer une grande base mécanique auto. Nous avons déjà 3 fabricants européens. Nous attendons 3 fabricants asiatiques. Il serait anormal que les grandes enseignes américaines n'existent pas en Algérie. Le marché est en train de se recomposer. Donc, il est temps pour que Ford ou General Motors, et les deux, peut-être, s'ils souhaitent, de venir chez nous en Algérie.
One of the opportunities that we're looking forward, being in Detroit, is the automotive industry. We already have some partnerships with 3 European automobile manufacturers, as well as 1 Asian manufacturer. And it is, of course, naturally, that Detroit being the capital of the automobile industry, we should do some business with them in Algeria, which is a great market.
Meeting of countries neighboring Libya has been held on Tuesday in Algiers, presided by Minister of Maghreb Affairs, Arab League and African Union Abdelkader Messahel, with the massive participation of the current Special UN Envoy for Libya, Martin Kobler, as well as international organizations to discuss the latest developments in Libyan and Sahel region, trying to find solutions and constitute a unified Libyan government.
The Libyan situation remains high on the agenda of the 7th Ordinary Ministerial Meeting of countries neighboring Libya, scheduled on Tuesday in Algiers, presided by Minister of Maghreb Affairs, Arab League and African Union Abdelkader Messahel, with the massive participation of the current Special UN Envoy for Libya, Martin Kobler, as well as international organizations from Egypt, Sudan, Niger, Chad and Tunisia to discuss the latest developments in Libya and Sahel regions. The meeting will also be an opportunity for Algeria to reiterate its support to the ongoing process under the United Nations decisions to accelerate the establishment of a national unity government capable of carrying out the transition period, hence face the different challenges facing the country, notably scrapping terrorism that is spreading more and more in the region. However, the president of the African Union Commission, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, has sturdily expressed deep concern of the African Union over the situation in Libya, stressing the importance of holding the necessary measures so that the African Union plays its rightful role in coordination with the Libyan neighboring countries of Libya and the United Nations in order to restore peace in the country. For her part, the head of European diplomacy, Federica Mogherini, stands ready to support the new Libyan government of national unity by providing substantial financial sum of €100 million if agreed.
Coinciding with the World AIDS Day today, AIDS has long been a taboo in the Algerian society, though with HIV cases being more and more registered by the year, testing and early treatment are crucial. However, HIV patients are refraining from that out of fear of being judged or simply denied treatment.
Many people living with HIV keep mum about their case even at medical checkup, out of fear of even doctors would refuse to treat them. This has become much of a concern for these patients, putting as a result their lives at the risk of an even more painful death.
We always encounter cases of treatment refusal from the part of doctors, like if an HIV patient goes to the doctor and he's denied treatment.
According to the law, there is no difference between someone infected with HIV or someone with diabetes or any other chronic diseases. Following this, everyone in these categories has the right to be treated.
This woman has hid her HIV status from her dentist, fearing treatment refusal, justifying this by fear of rejection, which raises many questions, notably if the doctor has become the reason behind patients' early deaths, or if he has the right to treat whomever he likes.
I was scared the dentist wouldn't treat me if I told him I have AIDS. It's as if doctors' white apron condemns patients to death and not the virus itself.
If these patients are destined for a long life, fleeing society remains hairless, their only way of living.
In the second day of the crucial COP21 climate change conference that kicked off yesterday, gathering 195 countries and 150 world leaders in Paris, Algeria is represented by Prime Minister Abdelmalek Sellal, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Ramtal Amamra, as well as Water Resources and Environment Minister Nouri Abdelwahab, who stressed the necessity of finding effective solutions as Algeria will be one of the most affected African countries by global warming.
It is the second day of the crucial COP21 conference that kicked off yesterday, gathering 195 countries and 150 world leaders in Paris. Algeria, that was represented by Prime Minister Abdelmalek Sellal, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Ramtal Amamra, and Environment Minister Nouri Abdelwahab, Algerian Prime Minister announced that Renewable Energy Forum will be held in Africa soon. Algeria, which is in the same rank with African countries, has generated only 0.36% of greenhouse gas. However, it's one of the most affected by global warming effects. As African countries, it will face natural disasters such as droughts, food and water shortage. Algeria claims industrialized countries the only responsible of the current situation.
Africa, the least emitter of greenhouse gases in the world, now suffers the most from climate change. Others pollute, Africa pays.
World leaders launched an ambitious attempt on Tuesday to hold back rising temperatures, with the United States and China leading calls for the climate summit in Paris to mark a decisive turn in the fight against global warming.
African countries have shown great determination and vision in attempting to reduce poverty and meet demands for growth without jeopardizing sustainability.
Head of state and government exhorted each other to find common goals in 2 weeks of bargaining to steer the global economy away from its dependence on fossil fuels. We will have to act to ensure that agricultural production can be confronted, that the land can be preserved, and that we can ensure food security. The leaders continue their negotiations, and today principally they focused on the side impact on African countries who have already been exposed to natural disasters and food shortage. The objective of this conference is to reduce the Earth's temperature to 2.3 degrees Celsius.
In cultural news, tap dancing artist and tap dance ambassador Ruby Bouqabou set sail in Algeria. As part of her cultural journey, Ruby is set to venture abroad in order to realize her artistic aspirations along with her dancing crew.
1, 2, 3, tap. Tap dance, this choreographed dance in which the rhythm or rhythmical variation is audibly tapped out with the toe or heel by a dancer wearing shoes with special heart soles or with taps, has had people around the world passionate about it. believed to have begun in the 1800s. It is only now that the tap dance was introduced in Algeria through Ruby Boukabou, Algerian-Australian freelance journalist and tap dancing artist, that came to show us a glimpse into the intriguing worlds of performance and artistic adventures. Having appeared at multiple festivals around the world and worked both behind and in front of the camera, Ruby is no stranger to the world of performance. Along with her tap dancing crew and many projects on the horizon, Ruby is fully determined to conquer the world of art, music, and dance. James Brown once said, "The one thing that can solve most of our problems is dancing." With her glittery tap shoes, or what she calls her passports, Ruby ventures abroad in order to realize her artistic aspirations, and from the country of her ancestors, Algeria, begins yet another captivating cultural journey.
For further information about tap dancing, we have Ruby Boukabou, who joined us in this news edition to tell us more about her art. Good evening, Ruby, and thank you for accepting our invitation.
Good evening.
Well, we've learned that you're a tap dancer, so can you just tell us a little bit about this art and the widespread of this art around Europe and the world and now in Algeria?
Yeah, well, tap dancing has a very interesting history. It comes from West Africa. The slaves were taken to America and they took away the drums. And because they didn't have drums to communicate or to have rhythms, they transferred the rhythms of the ancestors and the rhythms that they need in everyday life to their feet. Mm-hmm. Then it merged with the American dances and the Irish and Anglo-Saxon, which is what's become tap dance today all around the world. So it's very interesting what you were saying before when we were talking about American, Algerian fusion. It's an American form that comes from Africa. I have a company in Paris called the Paris Tap Crew, where we meet up, we jam, professionals, amateurs, everything in between, and also a company called Le Shuffle Project, which is two musicians, Alex Stewart and Daniel Hunter, from Australia, based in Paris, and Mban Gobert and myself. And we will be coming to Algeria very soon, with the idea that I came here to teach a couple of days ago at Escalier des Artistes. And people in Algeria don't know this art form, or they think of Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, but tap dancing is so much more than that. It's like the drums, so you can tap to any type of music. It's a sport, it's healthy, you don't need to go outside to do it. And for me, if I don't tap, I don't feel well. Like it's a part of everyday life. And you can learn so much through tap. You can learn about your own rhythms, you can learn to turn off all the Twitter and the buzz and the chaos to come back to the moment. The main thing about tap is, and improvising in tap, is that you can just to come back to the present and be in the present, which I think in this world right now is quite an important and very interesting thing to do that we all need to do.
Very good. So I've learned that you traveled around the world. So did you used to participate in events, in concerts, performing in front of audiences?
Yeah. I've tapped it in Mumbai. I was Ginger Rogers, Mumbai at the Hilton, Edinburgh Festival, Glastonbury Festival. We perform all around Paris regularly. I like to mix, obviously in Australia, because obviously you know that I'm Australian, but I'm also Algerian. So also coming back to Algeria is a way to rediscover my ancestors, meet my family, which is in Guelma, also in Gigel, also in Pigeria. And not just to give this, I'm not like I'm showing them tap. It's all about collaboration. It's about I'm listening to the rhythms that they have. My cousins in Guelma, they dance amazingly. They do things with their hips that I can never do.
So you perform in front of Algerian audiences?
Yeah, I did my first performance at the Monument with a singer called Spider Asla, who invited me to dance just for 2 little slots, and the public were amazing.
How did the public react towards this dance?
They were chaleureux. They were so warm, and they rebaptized me. And they said, "We need to rebaptize her." And Swad's saying, "What name?" And they're like, "Aisha." And I'm like, "Wow, that's funny. My grandma was called Aisha." So it was a very, very strong spiritual moment of reconnecting with this land, where I come from.
Okay, One more question, like what are your future plans like in bringing this new art to Algeria and to North Africa as a whole?
Yeah, right. So I've just come from Cairo, where I was there for the film festival, because I'm also a reporter of travel, food and travel, food and culture. And so I was also taught there, and they loved it. I'm going to go back there, and then I came over here. Nobody here knows it, so I taught at Escalier des Artistes. Very small group, but they were very, very enthusiastic. We're going to set up more workshops. I'm writing a musical set in Algiers, so we're kind of casting at the moment. Can't talk too much about it, but that's very exciting. And so tap and collaborating with musicians, teaching people to tap because it's a technique that they can use. And
thank you so much,
no
Ruby.
problem.
So that was Ruby Bukabo telling us about tap dancing culture and like her future plans in bringing it to Algeria. And with this, we come to the end of this news bulletin. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and goodbye.